Okay, so yesterday we were here. So when I say over here Alice, and when I do a send, it should fetch me the record of Alice. What happened? कल तो मैंने काम किया था इसका.
सर एल की जगह सेमीकोलन हो गया था.
ऐसा क्या?
हाँ, एलिस का स्पेलिंग रॉन्ग हो गया.
ऐसा अभी
एल की जगह सेमीकोलन सर.
क्या इंसर्ट करते वक्त
एल की जगह सेमीकोलन करो सर इसमें.
इंसर्ट करते वक्त ऐसा हो गया था.
हाँ सर. हाँ.
ओके नॉनसेंस. सोते रहते तुम लोग सुबह सुबह. ओके ठीक है, आ रहा है तो वो काम कर रहा है एपीआई. So now let's go to update and delete APIs. Let's hit the delete API first. Now if you want to delete a particular record, so what will you do? So we normally delete based on the primary key, right? So let's make a delete mapping then. Okay, so क्या बोलेंगे? Delete student by ID. Okay, so we can like use this as all our method names. So I do here. So no need to pass anything because that is the primary key, right? But we'll have to accept the integer value from the user, no? So roll number or integer roll number. इंटीजर रोल नंबर. ठीक है, और ये कौन सा मैपिंग होगा? डिलीट मैपिंग. या तो ऐसे करो या तो रिक्वेस्ट मैपिंग करो और मेथड डिलीट दे दो. ठीक है, और फिर हम लोग क्या करेंगे, एक फंक्शन सर्विस का फंक्शन कॉल करेंगे डिलीट स्टूडेंट बाय आईडी और उसको रोल नंबर पास कर दो. And it will return us the student record which is deleted. Okay, it will return us the record which is deleted. उसके लिए return type student है. अभी मेथड नहीं है तो उसको क्रिएट करो. ये आ गया. अब रिपोजिटरी के अंदर एक मेथड होगा डिलीट, वो कॉल कर लो. तो ये सब बने बनाए मेथड मिल जाते हैं इसके अंदर. कोड डॉट दिख रहा है, तो डिलीट बाय आईडी दिख रहा है. और क्या किस पे करना है इसको? रोल नंबर. क्या हो गया? कैन नॉट रिटर्न अ void result. Okay, does this return a void? ये void रिटर्न करता है. तो वो देखो जो ऑब्जेक्ट रिटर्न करता है. तो डिलीट बाय आईडी तो void रिटर्न कर रहा है. delete all will return, will delete. Delete by id integer with this returns a void. Delete in branch, delete it will be void delete ऐसा है, void रिटर्न कर रहा है. delete is done void, so you can just say delete by id and roll number and this will return you void. Okay. रिटर्न नहीं करता तो void. और फिर यहाँ भी जाके चेंज करना पड़ेगा. स्टूडेंट कंट्रोलर में जाके भी void है. और void कुछ return करता नहीं है, so it should delete. So then you can make your own response. See, what we can do is we can make our own response. After this record is deleted, no, so either you can give a plain string as a response and say return record deleted. You can do this also. So let's try. Now again we'll have to, यार ये delete drop मजा नहीं है इसमें, तो अपडेट ही ठीक है, क्योंकि ये बार बार फिर बनाते कौन फिरेगा इसको. Okay, so now let's try to run this. Okay. It has started, and now let me fetch all the records. Let's see if all the records are there. Fetch all students. Yeah, all are there. Okay, now I want to delete Ben. So what will I do? Make a new endpoint, new API. Yes, new API. Which method? Delete and delete student by ID. Okay, save. Okay, give the name. Delete student by ID. Okay, save, run, send, run. And now while sending, give the, so what is the variable you have taken? Roll number, and value what we can give 1. Now when I send this, it says delete student by ID is not found. Let me check whether I have given the correct controller over here. Delete student by ID. Yeah, yes, delete student by ID. This is correct. Okay, so it is taking the case sensitivity also of this. So record deleted. So this was just a plain text, what do you call it, string response. Now if you want to make your own response, so you can create a class. So I'll make a new package called as a response package. So in that we'll have our own response classes. New package and sbi.response, and here we will say new class student response. Okay. Now what all I want in the student response class. Okay, we'll join again. Okay, the meeting gets over. So private, let's say so we'll have a private boolean. Okay, we'll call that as the status. What is the status of the response, and what is the message of the response. Okay, message will be a string. So you can make your own message, or you can also write the status code also. You can also give the, so that will be a class called as http status. and you can call it as a status code. So we can display. Okay, so here what I will do is I will make a default constructor, and the default constructor will set everything to, okay, so we want to make the default constructor, right? So it will set the status to false. By default status will be false. By this will say failed, and by default the status code will be http status dot, okay, invalid. We can give invalid, we can give dot, give the default bad request. Okay, let's give bad request as the default. So now the response which I want to send should be an object of this student response class. So when I delete a record, I don't want the response to be a plain string. I want the response to be a student response. Okay, so now what do? I make an object of the student response. Response equals to new student response. So now I've made the object in the default constructor. So this response has three character attributes: the status, the message, and the status code. So the default constructor has set everything to false, failed, and this. What did we set? False, failed, and false, failed, and bad request. Okay. So if the task is successful, if the deletion is successful, I will set all these to, so I will send, okay, for that I need the getter setters also. For that I need the getter setters also. So I go to student response and I add the getter because the fields are private. So I go generate getter setters, select all and generate. Now I go here to the controller. So now I will say response dot set, first set the status to true, then response dot set the message to whatever message you want to give, record deleted successfully, and then what happened? Okay, this was not the status, this was the message, right? Set message and response dot set status code http status dot ok, and now return this response, return this response which I have made of my own. Okay, but if there is, so what I can do in this case is I have made the response, then I try to execute this, if there is some problem at this line number 77, this code will not be executed, so it will come out and then it will throw the default response which I have created. And if this line is successful, it will override the default attributes and then throw my response. Okay, so now you just, so in this case you can create your own customized response classes also. Let's run this now and now see how the output will change. So here the output was just a plain, here the output was just a plain message, right? Over here record deleted, record 1 was deleted, right? So now let's try to delete record number 2 and now see the response. So this is how see the difference now. So this is what your API will return. Status is true, record deleted successfully, status code okay. If I try to insert some other record which is not there, then it will show this status false, failed, status code bad request. So like this, try to customize your own responses. Got it?